On this edition of In the Gun, a cool ticketing initiative being rolled out ahead of the WVU football season here that we'll discuss, and it's time for another episode of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer, your favorite WVU trivia show. You are In the Gun.
Let's go!
You are now watching Believe. Do you believe?
Go single! Thomas nuts!
ITG.
With Wes, Owen, and Jed.
And we're the three best friends that anybody could have.
I mean, my initials are WVU. I've been a WVU fan my whole life.
They shouldn't have played the old Golden Blue. Not this night.
Owen Schmidt, like a runaway beer truck down the sidelines.
Joined by Jed Drenning, West Virginia sideline reporter.
Are you ready? Are you ready for some football? You want the noise brought on you? Because here it comes.
You're in the right place. You are In the Gun.
Because once you enter this family, there's no getting out.
In the Gun, episode 160 of your new favorite WVU football podcast. I am Wesley Euler with the best teammates in the business. We got the signal caller, Jed Drenning, the runaway beer truck, Owen Schmidt, and the co-host slash producer slash saw me wearing this San Jose Sharks jersey and said, hey, I've got one too. Let's go match. It's Schuyler Callahan, the defending Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer champion as well too. And as always, this edition of ITG brought to you in part by our friends at Bet Online, where I can pull up the ad read here. Bet Online, your number one source for all of your summer sports gambling this season, from baseball to golf, basketball, and NHL playoffs. They've got all the latest stats, news, and scores available to follow your favorite teams, while you get the latest odds and lines, including all the latest matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. So head to their website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. It's Bet Online, where the game starts. And if you are looking to go to 7 WVU football home games this year and don't care about having the same seat at every single game, boy, does the WVU ticket department have the deal for you. Jed, the 304 season ticket initiative here. Pretty cool concept that they've just rolled out here in the last few days. Tell us about this.
Yeah, it was a handful of days ago. We kind of waited around a little bit before we thought it was a great idea to maybe start promoting this thing, because it's an opportunity. When it came out, I started getting texts right away from friends that were like, have you seen this? Wow. So as I understand it, we'll put the information maybe in the description, or the link, Schuyler, in the description, so people can find out more about it. But we did post it on Twitter. For $304, you get all 7 games. Yes, that's including Penn State. And I believe what they do is they email you a seating assignment 48 hours prior to the home game. You'll sit in a different place. I think it's a combination of one or both of the end zones in the upper deck, but you'll have a different spot in each game. But you will be at all 7 games. Now, the question that people often ask, well, what if I got my wife, or what if I got a buddy? What if I got a son or a daughter? Well, I believe it's up to 4 tickets can be purchased in a group like this. You don't have to. You can buy one at $304 for all 7 games, or you can buy one for up to 4 different people in a family. However you want to do it. You can buy 2, you can buy 3. I think it's a great idea, because what I'm thinking is, let's do some simple math, guys. Let's say it's an additional. I like it because it's potentially more butts in the seats at certain games. So if you're looking at a game that otherwise might have been 46, 47,000, maybe it's an extra 5,000 people at that game, and it's now 52,000. Well, let's say that it is in fact 5,000 additional ticket sales, because these are season ticket sales, right? It's all 7 games. Well, if you sell, give or take 5,000 of those, that's $1.5 million in the coffers. But again, just as importantly for me, on game day, you have a chance to have more people in those seats cheering on the Mountaineers, to add to our home field advantage. And we all know what that means. So I think it's a win-win. I think it's a great promotion, a great initiative. If you haven't looked into it yet, if you haven't purchased your season tickets yet, if you were riding the fence, I think this should nudge you one direction. And that is, wow, this is a heck of an opportunity. Let me look further into this.
Yeah, super affordable, man. And for a lot of the families out there with lower incomes, this is a great way for them to pack up on Saturday and come check out the Mountaineers.
I mean, it's like what? Like that's like $44 a game. I
was
mean,
just
if you
about
break
to
it
do
down,
that,
it's less than $50 a game. I mean, you can't. I mean, you're talking, Division I college football season ticket for less than $50 a game. I mean, that's about as good as you're going to get,
including Penn State. It's not like they carved the premier 2 or 3 games off and they're filling the rest. No, you get all 7. I mean, the only thing that I think could be better than this is if they added the Pitt game at Acrisure Stadium as the 8th home game, and you got that too. That's the only
maybe
thing we'll make
maybe
it better, right?
maybe Cincinnati, right? Maybe some of you get Cincinnati on your list there.
Let's be honest here, Jed. I mean, you could get the ticket for like $7 up there for the Pitt game. So
exactly, exactly.
Right. That's right. Yeah, no, I think it's really cool. I mean, like Owen knows. Owen sat where I have season tickets now. Me and some family and some friends. We have a little box that we sit in now. We're bougie because we got a lot of kids and stuff at the games. And but if this was 5 years ago, 7 years ago, I would have been all over this. I mean, without a doubt, it's a great deal. There's not a bad seat in the place. You'll get to take it. That's the cool thing too. If you're someone who's like, maybe maybe you're in your 20s or your 30s and you're thinking about getting WVU season tickets for the first time, do this and you'll get to sit in 7 different sections. And at the end of the season, you can say, that was my favorite section to sit in. That's where I want to get season tickets. I think it's really smart. I think it's really smart in that regard. It's good. It's just cool. It's a cool idea, cool initiative, very affordable. And yeah, let's sell those things up, and let's sell those quick, all right, before some of these Penn State dorks start to figure out about how good of a deal this is, all right, and try and jump on it too. Hey, another thank you to our friends at Toothman Ford and our guy JR. We all know cars cost less in Grafton, and a big shout out to our friends at Team Toothman as always. All right, when we come back here, it's time to get that ball in the air. The Mountaineer's going to shoot off the musket. We'll have a coin toss, and it'll be time for another edition of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer. We'll do that when we return. You are in the gun.
Nobody supports the blue and gold Mountaineers like Toothman Ford. With over 20 NIL deals and counting, Toothman Ford continues to rally behind our student athletes. And it's time we rally and support the dealer that supports the Mountaineers. Not only does Toothman Ford offer the best prices in the state on pre-owned, their never over MSRP campaign on new Fords guaranteed to save you thousands. Drive with pride all season long, knowing you're supporting the dealer that fuels our Mountaineers. Toothman Ford, where cars cost less, in Grafton and at toothmanford.com.
ITG will be right back.
Jerkovic throws it up for grabs, and it's intercepted by that secondary. Aubrey Burks all the way back to the 6-yard line.
Nearly 20 years, Fortis has been the nation's leader in providing guaranteed roof performance programs for commercial buildings. Fortis offers roof performance solutions that feature extensive initial and ongoing reconditioning for commercial buildings as an alternative to traditional replacement, with long-term performance guarantees that are backed by global leader Lloyd's of London. Fortis offers a comprehensive range of roof performance management programs that provide financial security, extend the life of our customers' roofs, and make a significant impact on ROI. Fortis is currently improving performance and increasing ROI for customers at more than 4,800 locations, with more than 140 million square feet protected, including many Fortune 500 companies that have turned to Fortis to save money, gain financial certainty, and extend the life of their existing roofs. Fortis has helped customers save more than $520 million in capital roof replacement costs for an average ROI of over 250%. To learn more, visit fortis.us.com. Fortis, roof performance and financial certainty guaranteed.
All right, boys, let's go.
One side of the stadium filled with 60,000 plus is yelling, let's go, and the other side is yelling, Mountaineer.
We want to tell you the stuff we're not good at, our weaknesses, so we're clear up front.
Owen's cracking up.
You just lost to your own game. You're outgunned and outmanned.
Who wants to be
a Mountaineer?
That's a great question.
Keep your tears in your eyes where they belong.
Stupid! Stupid!
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another award-winning edition of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer. Please welcome to the stage your host, Jed, the signal caller, Dranny.
Thank you, Mr. Euler. I appreciate that. So this will be the 4th edition of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer. So far, Schuyler has 2 wins. He's participated in all 3. Wes has a win. He's participated in all 3. Owen, who has participated in 2 of the 3, is looking for his first win. So the way it works, we break it into 2 halves. We'll take a commercial break after the first half. Each half includes 4 questions. Point value goes up as the questions go along, and the difficulty in the question goes up with the point value. In the second half, we'll double the point value. But without further waiting, gentlemen, are you ready to get things rolling for the first half?
Let's go.
Thumbs up it is. All right. So, question 1 to start the first half for 1 point. Simple enough. What musical celebrity opened the first ever game played at Mountaineer Field, New Mountaineer Field, on September 6, 1980, with a live performance of one of the Mountain State's favorite songs? Was it A, John Denver, B, Hank Williams Jr., C, George Jones? If you don't get this, please exit left.
Oh, my ex is living
in Texas.
Charleston.
Yeah. So, again, Wes and Schuyler are texting me their answers. After I get them, I'll ask Owen because he's on his phone and can't text me. Owen, I have their answers. What's your answer?
I believe it was John Denver, sir.
I believe you're correct. Denver performed the song with Bill and Taffy Danoff, who co-wrote the song with him the night after Christmas in 1970. Guys, I don't know if I've told you this before, but the first place Country Roads was ever performed was in Georgetown in D.C. Now, if you've ever seen the TV show, is it Georgetown Cupcake, D.C. Cupcake? There's some TV show about cupcakes, but they got a really cool cupcake shop in Georgetown. Chrissy and the kids love it. We've been there probably 7 or 8 times through the years. If we're heading to the beach, we'll make a detour and pop off the cupcake shop. Well, what's neat about it, if you're ever at Georgetown Cupcake, literally 100 yards up the sidewalk, was at the by the M Street Bridge, wherever it might be in Georgetown. There, I don't know what's in there now, but in the 1970s, there was a dance club called the Cellar, or the Cellar Door, the Cellar. That's where they performed that for the first time ever, is 100 yards up the sidewalk in Georgetown Cupcake. So I peered in that window at least 6, 7 times because I've been to Georgetown Cupcake 6, 7 times. Really neat place, a lot of history there. And I do remember one time I bumped into a guy that he asked me why I was looking in there. And I explained to him what I was doing. And he said, well, I lived here in the 70s. There were nightclubs up and down the street. My favorite was over on that corner. I remember the Cellar Door being here. The Cellar, again, I forget the name of it, but he couldn't remember anything about John Denver and the Danoffs performing Country Roads. But yes, you all are correct. So let's start it off for 1 point for each of you. 1, 1, and 1. Moving on to question number 2, which is worth 2 points. A little tricky. Multiple choice, but there's only 2 choices. Which one of these Mountaineer standouts was not redshirted during his true freshman season in Morgantown? Not redshirted. Was it A, Mike Lorello, or B, Major Harris? Text me your answers, gentlemen. A, Mike Lorello, or B, Major Harris? Who was not redshirted? Got Schuyler's answer.
Oh, wait.
Or do
That's
I?
final answer.
Okay.
Next 2.
I've got Schuyler's answer, correct? Okay, I've got it. All right. I have both their answers in Owen. What say you? Was it Lorello or Major? Who was not redshirted?
I'm gonna go with dang it, man. I'm gonna go with Major.
Major was redshirted. He was redshirted out of Brashear High School. Mike Lorello was not. He contributed right away, starting on special teams, got some defensive snaps. But again, tricky question, because most people's first guess would be, if this had 4 answers, I don't know if you can get it right. I mean, did you guys get it right because it was 50-50? Be honest.
I had a feeling about Lorello, but I wasn't 100% sure. I knew Major got redshirted. I had the answers mixed up. But yeah, okay. I didn't know about Lorello.
I thought that Major had redshirted. Like when you first asked the question, my first reaction was, that's how I answer all these questions, is just whatever my first reaction was. My first reaction was, I think Major redshirted. So I went with Lorello.
If you gave me 4, I would have no chance in hell.
Back then, it was highly irregular not to redshirt. You had to be one.
Yeah.
And he was a crazy special cat, but it was just there had to be some extenuating circumstances to not redshirt back then. So moving on with the score, 3-3-1, correct. The score. So question number 3, which is worth 3 points. Multiple choice, 3 answers on the board. Neil Brown's first victory as the head coach at West Virginia came against a testy James Madison team that ultimately advanced to the FCS national title game, losing to North Dakota State. Very good JMU team that Neil opened his coaching career at West Virginia against. By what final score did the Mountaineers defeat the Dukes in that 2019 season opener? Was it A, 27-14? Was it B, 20-13? Or was it C, 24-17? Gentlemen, text your answers, after which I will ask Owen to give me his.
Can you repeat those again, please?
27-14, 20-13, or 24-17? What did you say, Wes?
Okay. No, so I was just asking you to repeat them, which you just did.
Okay, yeah. 27-14, 20-13, 24-17. Okay, so Owen, I have their answers. What say you?
B.
B. That is correct. All 3 of you got it. 20-13. That was a hard-fought 20-13 win in Neil's first game as head coach. I remember following him around. He had a towel over his shoulder. His shirt was soaked from getting Gatorade bath. No matter who you beat in your first game, it's a seminal moment. It's a big game. Just the joy with his family around. It was, I got a little video as I was taping him walking around during country roads, and it was a cool little special memory that I always have. That was a neat moment. So through 3 questions, we have Schuyler and Wes tied at 6. Is that what you guys have? And Owen at 4. Sharks tied at 6. Yeah, Sharks and Sharks tied at 6. Question 4: who paid more for their Sharks jersey, Schuyler or Owen or Wes?
No, well, mine was $7 at a Goodwill, so I think I got him right there.
Okay. Moving on to the final question of the first half. Boy, this blows by, doesn't it? Question number 4, worth 4 points. Nut check.
Nut check. Nut check.
Here it is, gentlemen. This week's nut check. So I will ask you to submit your wager on the nut check. You can wager whatever you have, plus also the 4 points for the question. You can win the 4 points for the question, and you can gamble whatever you have earned. So each of you have 6. Owen, you have 4. The question is worth 4 in addition to that. Okay?
I mean, at this stage in the game, we're all going all in, right? I mean,
Jed, I'm all in.
We're all going all in, right? Schuyler, don't grin over there, all right? It's still the first half.
I'll tell you
all
what,
right?
Schuyler's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Schuyler's like
too early.
2 points.
It's too early for strategy at this point, all right?
We got 6-6-4. Schuyler bets 4. The strategy already. Come on, here we go. Okay, Bill Wolfed it.
Chess pieces.
Now you talk about a nut check question. So each of you are betting. Wait a minute. Owen, you're betting them all. So you have, okay, so Wes betting 6, Owen's betting 4, Schuyler's betting 4 as well. Okay, so here's the question. Multiple choice, 3 answers on the board. How many times in Pat White's 42 career starts did West Virginia rush for more yards than its opponent? 42 career starts by Pat White. How many times did we outrush the bad guys? 3 answers. Was it A, 29 out of 42 times, B, 34 out of 42 times, or C, 39 out of 42 times? 29, 34, or 39 times out of his 42 starts, how many times did we outrush the opposition with Pat White as the starter? Wes's answer is in. Schuyler, awaiting yours. Schuyler's answer is in. Owen, what say you? 42 starts?
B.
Blocking for a lot of them. Was it 29 times, 34 times, or 39 times that West Virginia outrushed the opposition in 42 Pat White's
34.
34. Okay, so Schuyler, let me see. Okay, Schuyler said C, 39. Wes said 34B. Owen said 34B. The correct answer, 39 out of 42 times we outrushed the opposition. The only 3 times we did not. The Pitt game in 07, the Pitt game in 08, and the South Florida game, Pat's last home game of the whiteout game. South Florida outrushed us in the whiteout game. Those are the only 3 games in 42 career starts. So let's work the points here. Schuyler got it correct. Schuyler gambled 4. So you got the 4, which takes you to, in other words, you got 8 points on the question. Correct? So you're 14, right?
What could go wrong, Schuyler?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. And Wes, you gambled. How many?
14,
you gambled them all?
Me and Owen got nothing. So it's 14 Schuyler and then a couple goose eggs. I mean, what could go wrong here? Big first half for Schuyler.
0. Wow, we're wrapping up the first half. 14 Schuyler, nothing to nothing. All right.
Y'all will never let me live this one down if I blow this lead, though.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
What could happen? You got it in the bag, dude. Yeah. It's fine. You know, you should take it easy.
You know, we talk about being the Frank Reich with the greatest
comeback.
So you can
Rest
be the
your
Warren
starters.
Moon. You could be the Warren Moon and blow the lead.
Rest your starters for the second half, Schuyler. Come on, it's a big game next week, too. All right, so Schuyler's on the board with 14. Owen and I are back to square one. That's the first half in the books. We will get to the second half when we return on this edition of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer? You are in the gun.
ITG will return after these messages.
The ball is at the Miami 19-yard line now. Mountaineers down by 4. Here's Walker. Walker left side. Walker. Tom Walker will score. Mountaineers lead.
It's time for the second half here of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer, episode 4. A reminder, Schuyler, he is out and leading. 14 points for Mr. Callahan. Wes and Owen, they're still trying to get their engines going. They're sitting at 0. Once again, we turn it over to the host, the signal caller, Jet Trenning.
All right. I'll tell you what, points are at a premium tonight, gentlemen. 14 to nothing, Schuyler in the lead. As we kick off the second half, point values double in the second half, which means the first of the 4 questions is not worth 1, it's worth 2. Are you ready, gentlemen? Question number 1 worth 2 points. Multiple choice, 3 choices on the board. What jersey number did West Virginia pass rusher Bruce Irvin wear during his playing days in Morgantown? Was it A, 55, B, 11, or C, 99? Wes's answer is in. Schuyler's answer is in. Owen, what say you?
11,
what jersey number? What's that?
11.
You are correct. So everybody got that one. It was worth 2 points. Takes us to 2 to 16 for Schuyler. Excellent work, gentlemen. Moving on to question number 2, which is worth 4 points. Oh, Wes loves these. True or false?
Hey, I've never had one of these when I've been not in the lead. So we'll see. Maybe my tune will change.
Whoa.
As a member of the St. Louis. As a member of the St. Louis Rams, true or false? As a member of the St. Louis Rams, former Mountaineer quarterback Mark Bulger reached 1,000 career completions, faster than any QB in NFL history when he hit this milestone in just his 45th game as a pro. True or false? Did Mark Bulger reach 1,000 career completions faster than any quarterback in NFL history? True or false, gentlemen? Submit your answers. I've got both of theirs. Owen, what say you? True or false? Did he pull it off? Did Mark Bulger do that?
False.
You all 3 said false, and you all 3 sold Mark Bulger short because he did, in fact, do that.
Oh, my God.
He reached 1,000 career completions faster than any. Now, bear in mind, he took over the greatest show on turf for that short-lived span. They were cooking with gas with that offense with Mike Martz.
I could
taking
certainly
over for
see
Kurt
it.
Warner. So the score remains Schuyler 16, Owen 2, West 2. All right, tripped you up with the true and false. Okay, let me see here. Question number 3. 6 points. This is points are at a premium still. Here we go. Multiple choice. 3 answers on the board. What Syracuse fullback plowed through the Mountaineers for 216 yards in a 41-19 Syracuse victory in 1965 before going on to run for 8,081 yards in the NFL? Was it A, Jim Brown, B, Hunchy Hornschmeyer, C, Larry Zonka?
What was the year?
1965. A, Jim Brown, B, Hunchy Hornschmeyer, C, Larry Zonka. Their answers are in. What say you, Big O? Jim Brown, Hunchy, or Larry Zonka?
Rush for 8,000 in the pros.
Yep.
And I really want to go with my boy Zonka.
All right, that's your answer.
I'm going with it. That's my answer.
That's your answer for 8 points. Okay, the correct answer is C, Larry Zonka.
Wow.
Larry Zonka is the correct answer. Now, Hunchy's a real guy, but he played for Navy in the 1940s. I just wanted to use the name Hunchy Hornschmeyer. That's why I threw him in there for B. I just wanted to work him in. Owen, you got it right. You got 8 points, taking you to 10. Wes, you stay at 2. Ooh. Schuyler, you stay at 16. Correct? Is that what you guys got?
Stinking up the joint, fellas.
Yeah.
16, Schuyler. Owen, 10. Wes, 2.
I'm losing a little bit of
All
grip.
right. All right. Down the stretch they come to wrap up question 4 of the second half. This will end the second half, and then we will come back after a break for the final question. I'll give you the topic this time, remember. But here comes the final question of the half. Schuyler 16, Owen 10, West 2. Is that what you guys have?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll consider that correct. Worth 8 points. Question 4 of the second half. Most 3 choices, 3 answers on the board, multiple choice. Most career rushing touchdowns among these 3 Mountaineers. Who has the most career rushing touchdowns among these 3? A, Garrett Green. B, Major Harris. C, Quincy Wilson.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm asking and not answering.
Garrett Green, Quincy, and who?
Garrett Green is A. Major is B. Quincy is C. Garrett, Major, Quincy, ABC. Please submit your answers. Schuyler, I have your answer. Wes, I have your answer. Okay, let me see here. All right. Owen, what say you for 8 points? Most career rushing touchdowns, Garrett, Major, or Quincy?
Man, I'm going with my dog Q.
Okay. The correct answer is A, Garrett Green with 22. Quincy had 20, Major at 18. Bear in mind, Garrett last year had 13, tied for most by an FBS quarterback.
Yep.
So remember, he had those 3 against UCF. He was racking up some TDs, guys, with his legs. So what that means is our score now stands Schuyler 24, Owen 10, West 10.
So you're saying there's a chance. That scoreboard update brought to you by our friends at Fortis and our buddy Rick Lewis. For roof performance and financial certainty guaranteed, you got to visit Fortis mountaineer.us.com. What will happen? Will there be another dramatic twist to the conclusion of this edition of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer, or will Schuyler hold on for back-to-back, the first back-to-back victories in program history? We'll find out.
Topic. I need your points. Remember, you got to text me, so I'll give you the topic, and then you can take us out to the break. The topic is going to be ears in the draft. Schuyler leading 24-10-10. Please text me your totals. Owen will give me his total during the break. Sorry to interrupt, Wes, but I wanted to give you the topic. I screwed you guys out of the topic the last episode.
The answer is Zach Frazier. Who is Zach Frazier? Oh, wait, this isn't Jeopardy. It's Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer. We'll be back with the conclusion. On the other side, you are in the gun.
If you work the land, you just got to be a jack of all trades type. There's just too much to do. So if you got to be a welder or a farmer or a ditch digger, that's just who you are that day. Then tomorrow, you can be somebody else.
Get your Coyote at the new location of Johnston Equipment between Weston and Buchanan.
Back for the dramatic conclusion of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer, episode 4. Before we get to our host, the signal caller, Jed Drenning, a final thank you to our friends at Johnston Equipment for presenting this episode of In the Gun. Check out their new location, Route 33, just outside of Weston. Here he is, the signal caller, Jed Drenning.
All right, for our final question, I have your wagers in. I will tell you after you answer. Our ears in the draft question being the topic. So you're right, Wes. Zach Frazier is obviously involved. So listen carefully, please, gentlemen. Mountaineer great Zach Frazier was recently selected in the second round of the NFL draft by the Pittsburgh Steelers with the 51st overall pick. Gentlemen, let's wait a second and let's soak that in. I'm still enjoying it. Zach was taken 51 overall in the second round. Here's your question. Not multiple choice. I need a name. Who was the last WVU offensive lineman to be selected higher than that?
Oh, good.
Higher than 51st. Gentlemen, text your answers, and then I will ask Owen his.
My goodness.
I feel like I saw somebody tweet this like on Friday night. Might have been Jed. Did Jed tweet this on Friday night right after Zach was drafted?
I thought it, but I didn't tweet it. I did not. And you know why I didn't tweet it?
Why is that?
Because it was in
because I knew I was going to ask it. That's why.
You didn't want us to see it.
I didn't want you to see it. Yeah.
I'm going to go with
Schuyler's struggling.
Whoa, that's not what I meant to text. But I think you would have got it anyway.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Okay. All right.
I'm honestly, I don't even feel good about that one, to be honest.
All right, Owen.
That's a flat out guess.
I have both their answers. Who was the last Mountaineer offensive lineman drafted higher than number 51 overall?
I know it's been a while.
Say it again. It's been what?
It's been a while, I feel like. You said offensive lineman?
Offensive lineman, yeah. I could say you know him, but that wouldn't help much.
I mean, I was going to...
Hey, no hints. Yeah, listen, Schuyler and I didn't get any hints, all right?
Hey, no. I was going to say Brian Joswiak. I know that's not it, but I'm just going to say Big Joe's.
You're saying Big Joe's?
I'm with you,
Let me get this right here.
I mean, that's what I was going to say, but I'm like,
okay.
Man, that's...
All three of you said Brian Joswiak.
Shut up, dude.
Yeah, you did. All three of you said that. And wow. And the wagers were 10 by Wes, who had 10, 10 by Owen, who had 10, and Schuyler, who had 24, wagered 5. So he could have lost, but instead
Schuyler.
You're all three correct. So his courage is rewarded. Brian Josiak it is. The last one to be drafted higher than 51 overall was Joe's in 1986 at number 7 overall by the Kansas City Chiefs in the first round. So if you want to hear some other numbers in recent memory, Mike Compton, number 3, or in the third round, 68 overall by the Lions. Braham, third round, 76th overall. Solomon Page, guys, is the closest since Joe's. Second round, Cowboys took him 55th overall. Lance Nemo, 130 overall. Selvish Capers, 231 by Washington. Glowinski, 134th by the Seahawks. Yodney went to the Patriots at 101st overall. Colton was taken in the 5th round, 153 overall by the Niners. And remember, Dan Moses, your guy, Owen, for all his accolades and all his production, undrafted free agent by the Vikings. Yeah, so undrafted, but good job by you three. Again, it's easy when I'm asking, not easy when you're answering.
I was almost
some uncertainty on the other side, but I mean, the only one of the three of you that sounded decisive was Wes, because he kind of shot it right away. But you got it done at the end of the day. All three of you got it correct. So once again,
Schuyler, we had that clause in the game show that says whoever gets the answer in first gets 10 extra points.
10 points. That's right.
I didn't read the fine
29 to 20. Schuyler, you win again. Wow, look at this. Somebody's got to knock him off his perch, man. What's going on here? You know,
well, I feel like it counts for both of us since we're wearing the Sharks jerseys. Yeah. We're like teammates.
So, it's a Sharks win. It's a Sharks win. Well done. Well done. Yeah, guys, you did a good job. Some of these are tricky. Some of these are tricky.
We have ever since our first episode where Schuyler and I did not show very well. I mean, it looked like a pilot. We've all done pretty well. We're putting up some good numbers ever since our pilot.
We listened to the focus group, the feedback the focus group gave us from the first episode.
They said we need more scoring, guys. We need more scoring here.
We had script notes. They gave us some script notes. The producer
NFL, we need more scoring. All right, we can't let this.
Yeah, the studio gave us some script notes, but yeah, great job, you guys. Great game. Excellent work. Another exciting one, but more to come with Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer. I hope you guys are listening to watching and or enjoying it as much as I am hosting it. This is fun.
Schuyler with his third all-time win. He's climbing up the leaderboards here, like on Around the Horn. I mean, is that, you know what? That's what we need to do is like, all right, Schuyler, you get 15 seconds here to, your moment in the sun.
Give my chance to gloat. Yeah, there's not much here. I'm just going to take the win and be a nice teammate this week. Maybe I'll stir something up next week when I win. So,
we should do. We should say the winner. We're gonna have to do this on the move. I have to put some thought into this. Maybe the winner will have some small advantage in a next episode, like how you have the 50-50 elimination or the phone a friend. We'll have to figure something out. Maybe you can earn something by winning an episode. To kind of like on these cooking shows where, hey, if you win, you get to pick what flavor you're using. Everybody else is screwed because they don't get your flavor or whatever. Let's put some thought into it.
Well, we'll continue. We're building this plane as we fly it, but that's it for another award-winning edition of Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer. Thanks to our host and the signal caller, Jed Drenning, the runaway beer truck, Owen Schmidt, and the back-to-back Who Wants to Be a Mountaineer champion, Schuyler Callahan. For those three fine gentlemen, I am Wesley Euler, and the one thing we ask of you before we get up out of here is to be an ear and tell an ear about your new favorite WVU football podcast. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. You've been in the gun.
ITG.
The fun doesn't have to stop here.
Be sure to hit subscribe and never miss an episode.
If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback,
be sure to follow us on X at In the Gun Podcast.
Join us again next time.
Until then,
tell an ear to tell an ear about your new favorite WVU football podcast.
This mission is over. It's over.